Now I'd like to share with you a short story that recently happened in Israel. A man named Mati and his wife were a wealthy couple that was blessed with 5 children. Mati's younger sister had just gotten married, and it was Erev Shabbos of Sheva Brachos. The entire family was invited to a beautiful Sheva Brachos meal at the local shul. That week, Mati's wife had just gotten paid for a lucrative business deal, and she had asked him to deposit a large cash payment at the bank. Mati said, I don't have any time. It's Erev Shabbat. I'm running around for my sister's Sheva Brachot. I'll do it after Shabbos. So what he did was, he placed the stack of bills, the cash, in a drawer in their lavish apartment. She said, okay, fine. But listen, Mati, we are low on diapers. Can you please go get some at the Makolet before they close? Sure thing, said Mati. He goes to the store. The store owner is a good buddy of his, and he wishes him a mazel tov. Mazel tov on your sister, Mati. When's the Sheva Brachot? Mati says, oh yeah, there's one tonight. It's starting in the shul at 6 p.m. The store owner goes, I bet it's really going to schlep out, like Sheva Brachos tend to do. And neither man was aware that Ahmad, a Yishmaeli worker, was listening carefully to every word of this conversation. Anyway, Mati returned home. He helped get his kids bathed and dressed, and he took his oldest son with him to shul. His wife came later with the rest of the kids. Everything was festive, but Mati's wife looked very agitated when she walked in. Ma baya? Asked Mati. It's Ruchama, she says. Ruchama was their 2-year-old daughter, the youngest. Mati said, what did she do now? And Mati's wife says, Mati, you forgot to unplug the radio before Shabbat. So Ruchama, right after I lit candles, she hits all the buttons, and now it's playing on the highest volume for all of Shabbat. It's so loud, it's so noisy. They said, Mati, I forgot. He decided not to worry about it now. They enjoyed the festive meal of the Sheva Brachot, and they went home. Already a block away, they could already hear the blaring music coming from an otherwise silent neighborhood. Oy vavoy, said Mati. They go into the house. The loudness was unbearable. Mati looked sternly at baby Ruchama and said, pointing to the radio, Asur lagat, it's forbidden to touch this. And she said, Aval ani rotza lala, I want music. Mati was so angry with himself that he failed to unplug the stereo, and he barely got any sleep from all that noise. Shabbat morning, he wakes up, barely having slept. He's exhausted. He's angry. And he goes to shul. He tells his father what happened. And his father says, Gamzu l'tova, kaparat avonot. This too is for the best. Anyway, a year goes by, and Mati gets a call after Shabbat, a year later. Moti, it's the Mishtara, it's the police chief. Can you come down to the station, please? I got a great story for you to hear. Moti was like, yeah, sure. Okay. Ani bat techef. I'll be right there. Mati comes down to the station. The police chief shakes his hand. He leads Mati to a room. And Mati sees Ahmad, the Yishmaeli from the local Makolet. Huh? What's he doing here? The chief says to Ahmad, Saper lo mashu siparta li karega. Tell Mati what you just told me. Ahmad shrugged and said, okay. Lifnei shana achat. 1 year ago, I saw you in the Makolet where I work. You had just told my boss about your sister's wedding meal at the Bet Knesset. I knew that you were rich. So I told a friend of mine, let's rob his house. We timed it to be while you're still in shul for the party. We got to your apartment and we heard loud music. We climbed the stairs quietly, and it turns out the music is coming from your door. My friend looked at me and said, you idiot, it's not Shabbat. You said he's religious. He never would have had music on. it's forbidden for them to turn it on. So I got confused. We figured, okay, maybe it's not Shabbat after all, and you must be in the house. So we left, and we never got to rob your house. Mati was shocked. He left the room and asked the police chief, why am I finding this out a year later? What just happened? The police chief said, we just busted this guy for another theft, and he happened to tell us this story. So I called you in. But tell me, Mati, Ata ben Adam Dati, you were a religious man. Why was that music on? Mati says, oh, that? Abat Sheli, my daughter turned it on after Shabbat had already started. And we were so upset. But you know what? That ended up preventing a major theft. We had so much cash in the house from a deal my wife had just finished making. And it was in the house that Friday. And then Mati realized that something that had made him so upset ended up being the best thing that could possibly happen, preventing something far worse.